What's up, everybody? This is Corey with Walker Guitar. So I'm doing Sophisticated Honky this time by the band Orgone. They're an LA-based band. Sergio Rios on guitar. Really good band. I would definitely recommend checking them out. Get on YouTube. Check out the KEXP live session. That one just kills. It's awesome. This record is called The Killian Floor. Also, pretty clever name there. So, and I'm going to just do this intro riff because I'm going to assume that you just want something to kind of chew on, jam on your own, maybe jam with some other people. And just a little something. I'm not going to go over every single note. I'm just going to give you a general idea of this main riff, but I think it's super catchy, and that's why I'm doing it. So, anyways, I'm going to do how to play, and at the end, we'll talk a little about the theory. So if you're not interested in the theory, you can just call it good. So here we go. Okay, so the techniques involved with this, to begin with, you're going to want to be able to palm mute, okay? So to palm mute, you got to take the heel of your hand here and go right on the low E string, okay? Notice I have a little bit of overdrive, okay? Not a lot, but enough to just give it a little bit of grit. Go too far over with your heel, you mute all of the string resonance and you lose your pitch entirely. Too far back and it's open, so it's got to be a little bit muted. Okay, and you'll find the sweet spot with a little bit of practice. So that's the first technique. The second technique is what we call hybrid picking, and so that is picking with your pick here and also picking strings with your available fingers up top. So what I'm going to do here is use my ring finger on the second string, middle finger on the third string. And you may just want to try that, where you have your heel mute back here. And just kind of do that for a little bit. It takes a little while before your hand will relax and actually kind of do this. It tends to hold tension because you're holding a pick, between your thumb and your index. So there's tension in your hand already, and then you're trying to move your fingers while there's tension. So, it's kind of natural to feel a little bit of tension. So the notes themselves, and I'll get to the following techniques as we get into this, you're going to do, and also the whole idea behind the hybrid picking thing, I think arguably the hardest thing to learn is probably keeping this bass note going throughout all the stuff happening up top. To be able to do all of that where this is consistently plucking every eighth note. Down, 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 down. That's tricky. It's going to take some time. So what you might want to do is just get used to just random little exercises where you just train, okay, down pick and one finger, down pick and the other finger, down pick both fingers. You can do it at the same time you down pick, and you can do it in between. Okay, so just exhaust every scenario you can think of doing that, and that will definitely help in just making this feel better. So then the riff, the notes are this, is that you're going to do 3rd fret on the B string, 4th fret on the G. You can get the tab down below for free at my website, no problem. So you do bass note and a very slight bend with the middle finger on that G. Good way to piss off your neighbors. So, okay, and so then the next note, now you have a sort of a chain of techniques. You have the hybrid picking, and you're going to do 3rd fret, G, open B. And you slide down without disturbing, hopefully without disturbing, the B string. So it's a tension into another tension. And this keeps going. Not easy. Next little bit is back to the 3rd fret, pick, slide, pull off. As you do your pull off, I highly recommend going upward with this sort of swoop instead of downward. If you go downward, you're going to mute the B string. Now I can't do it slow. Anyway, again, this is all learned muscle memory. That's what happens. But it's a pick, a slide, and then a pull off that way. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, all right? It just needs to feel good. In fact, if you really, really listen to his recording, it's totally imperfect, and that's what makes it human. That's what makes it sound good and interesting. Hi, kitty. So, all right, so then the next half of this riff is this little bit down here. I'd argue this is almost harder to do, but it could just be me. Everybody's a little different. So what you're going to do here is open 5th and 4th strings, hammer into them both, and then you're going to go back to this palm mute. Okay, what matters is the picking direction. It seems like you want to go, but if you do that, if you just do all downs and you try to play it when you hear it, it's going to feel really clunky. It's never going to feel right. You have to really keep your hand moving in a 16th note pattern. That is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Even though you're picking instead of strumming, it's still down, up, 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 down, up. 1, 2, down, up, 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 down, up. And the ups and the downs are what they are because of when the notes happen. Okay? So all those ups at the end are very syncopated. That is, they're not on the downbeats. But when you start to get in the groove of it, it actually feels pretty good. And you can really dig in the way that you want to dig in. Okay, so in a nutshell, that is Sophisticated Honky by the band Orgone. Check them out, get the tab below, and I will see you guys soon. All right, sorry about that. I forgot the theory part of this. So, what we're looking at here is E minor extended pentatonic. So all these notes, with the exception of that 3rd fret, that B flat there, everything else is in this pattern. So what you might want to try to do is just, well, 1, run the pattern. So open 3rd, open 2nd, open 2nd, open 2nd, shift to the 4th. So I'm using middle finger, by the way. So ring and middle. Index at 3, middle finger at 5, 3, and 5. And I would say fundamentally the most important thing right now would be knowing your roots. What are your roots? Those are your E notes. Those 3 notes are like the bones. The other scale tones are kind of like the muscles. This is the structure. The scale structure relies on these E's, this octave shape. Knowing that gives you a sense of destination, okay? You can hear it kind of ends. Those are points of resolution. The tonal center of the scale are those E pitches. So play around with that in terms of looking for ways to evolve this riff. And you can go and do your hybrid picking and just kind of go through and kind of play around with that scale as you hybrid pick on the low E string. You'll notice hybrid picking in and of itself is pretty hard because you have to spread your fingers out while you're committed to that bottom string the whole time. So those are my closing thoughts and the theory behind Sophisticated Honky. See you soon.